Hello and welcome to No Sevens Dice Club College Football Predictions Championship Week. I was going to skip out Championship Week and then I realized that I do Championship Week every year when I went back and looked at it. So I can't skip out on Championship Week. So we're going to make this really quick, really fast because I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. It's pretty much just a simple, quick picks, and we're going to move on from there. And because there's a lot of stuff I want to do and get things accomplished. Last week, week 14, we went 3-2, so we won all 3 months this season. That is amazing, doing great. We went ahead and we're 37-26. Great year, great season, always winning. You know, last year was a little bit better, 43-28. But if you guys remember, I was gone for a week, so I was not here. Plus COVID and everything else. So yeah, we're going from there. All right, week 14, Bama's in the playoffs and Miami is out. Boy, you should hear all the conversations I'm getting and all the messages and everything else. And I can't talk to anybody about how Bama bought their way in. Miami didn't pay enough money to the playoff committee to get in. Bama lost more games. Miami lost less games. It's so much controversy. And what I keep on telling people, we still have one more meeting on Sunday after the championship games. How about we save all the debates till it's final and it's put in place, and go from there. You know, you're never going to please everybody in the playoffs. You're never going to have the right teams. There's always going to be what if situations. I'm hearing people, this is how Florida State was treated last year. When they went to a bowl game and they played, what was it, Georgia? They got destroyed. I mean, just destroyed. That game was over as soon as the ball left the tee to kick off the game. It was over. All right. Anyway, I'm getting off my high horse. I love the debates. I like the passion. Who should be in Miami, Bama, whatever else. But like I keep on saying, we still got one more week. Let's go on to the championship week and let's look at this. All right. So we have no parlays this week. We're going to get into championship week. It's Iowa at Arizona State. Arizona State's -2.5. Arizona State's playing amazing football right now. This is going to be a very close game. Just all sorts of stuff going on. I mean, Arizona, if you look at them, they are trending in the right direction. And if they win this game, they're going to stay in the playoffs. If they lose this game, it's pretty much go play in a lesser bowl game. So I really like Arizona State to win this game. If you look at who they played and who they beat BYU when BYU was undefeated. They beat Utah when they were starting to find their groove. Just a really good team that is hot right now and trending in the right direction. This comes down to a pick 'em because it's -2.5. And for me, when I look at who is the most complete team playing this right now, as far as offense and defense and special teams, I would have to lean towards Arizona State without even looking at the point spread. And Iowa is always known for a great defense. So this is going to be a close game, very physical game. Really looking forward to seeing this. This is going to be at 11 a.m. on Saturday. So I'm going to go ahead. I like Arizona State. So I'm going to take Arizona State -2.5 and lock it in. The reason why I like them is because when you have a team that's playing that well and the momentum is carrying them, and they know that if they win this, they're going into the playoffs, they have everything in front of them. So that makes them a very dangerous team. Okay, next up, Clemson at SMU. SMU's -2.5. Here goes the whole entire debate again. How is Clemson in and Miami's not playing? Oh my God, the ACC. I mean, this is just so crazy. And SMU is playing one of the best seasons they've ever had. I mean, if they were ever to get into the ACC and to prove how dominant they are, Now is the time to do it, to show that they are a legitimate team. And I'm really proud of how SMU is doing. And I've mentioned hints throughout the season about how SMU is doing. I had them on the parlay, the money line parlays, a couple of times throughout the season. They are doing phenomenal. Clemson lost to South Carolina. That was a great game. That was also a pick'em game. It was South Carolina plus 2.5. We didn't even need that. They ended up winning the game. And if Miami would have taken care of business at Syracuse, none of this would be even a discussion right now. But SMU is one of those teams where if they lose this game, they could be out of the playoffs. So it's one of those things that like they had such a great season. I think they're undefeated too, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't looked up their record. I want to say they're undefeated. If not, they only lost like one game. And Clemson's ranked number 17, if I remember correctly. And if Clemson wins this and beats SMU, does SMU stay in the playoffs? Does Clemson move into the playoffs? You know, there's just so much that can happen. And this is exactly like how Arizona State is. SMU just needs to win this game and just avoid all the controversies, all the talk, and everything else, and just go in there and just handle business. I really think they're going to do this. It's going to be a very close and physical game. That's the reason why SMU is minus 2.5. But SMU is the most complete team, so I really like SMU. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take SMU minus 2.5, and I like them to win by at least 7 points. So I really like this. I really like how this is set up. So SMU is going to be my pick at 7 p.m. All right, it's locked in. SMU. Okay, next up is Georgia at Texas. 3 p.m. game. Game day is going to be there. They're always there for the SEC championship. It's really nice, and it's kind of funny how this worked out at the same time because there's no more East and West in the SEC. Now that Oklahoma and Texas have come in, it's just the top two teams are now going to compete in the SEC. And I kind of find it funny. Texas would have been in the West. Georgia would have been in the East. So it's kind of nice that you still have that East-West rival in the SEC. This goes back to the only loss Texas sustained was when Georgia went into Austin, beat Texas earlier on in this season. I even think game day was there for that one. And if you remember that game, Georgia came in there and beat them pretty good. I mean, I think it kind of made Texas reflect on a lot of things, adjust a lot of plays, made sure who they were and what their goals and their values and everything was for this, and gave them a new direction. Kind of took them off their high horse a little bit. Georgia, if you watched the last game, Friday night after Thanksgiving, they went into, 7-8 overtimes against Georgia Tech. Holy cow, that was, I mean, I was enjoying it so much, I didn't want it to end. I mean, I felt bad for the players because, I mean, you know, they were just about ready to pass out. But what a great game from Georgia Tech. Texas is going to come in here. They're going to have, they're going to come in with a serious revenge factor. And I remember, who was it? Old Marty Schottenheimer, was it? Or was it Bill Levy, the old NFL head coaches? And he always said, you know, it's really hard to beat a team twice. And I kind of see that too, because Texas knows that Georgia's going to come gunning for them. And there's a lot more film on Georgia now, what works and what doesn't work throughout the whole entire season. So they're really studying the game film of how to play Georgia, especially after that Georgia Tech game and stuff. So they're really going to make a lot of adjustments. And this is Texas I'm talking about. So I really like Texas to come in here, but I'm not going to take any points. That's the reason why I don't see any points on here. I like Texas just to win this game flat out and win their first SEC championship. And it's kind of nice that a new team in the SEC is playing in the championship. So we're going to take Texas and the money line. There it is, locked in, Texas money line. All right, last game, Penn State at Oregon. Oregon's minus 3.5, 7 p.m. I should have put this on the notes. That huge fight at Ohio State against Michigan at the end of the game had more excitement than the game itself. I really don't believe in the whole flag planting, and I understand you guys don't like each other and stuff, but you can win. You made your statement without Michigan going in there and planting the flag, and saying that they own Ohio State, and they probably do. I mean, they won 4 times in a row, wasn't it? And but you win with class, and it drives them up even more because you've proven everything you need to prove. When you go and plant a flag at Ohio State's, in the middle of the O, and you lessen your win, you lessen your dominance, you lower to their level, and I really do not like that. And the only reason why I'm on this high horse is if Ohio State would have won, I mean, they were a 3 touchdown point favorite going into that game. And that's the one I even picked. I even picked Ohio State to go in there and just literally destroy Michigan. And if they would have won that game, Penn State wouldn't have been in. But Penn State's in now. Penn State has a chance to upset Oregon. Oregon's -3.5. Oregon's the only team left who is undefeated. The only other one that was close is Texas, and they're -1. I think Penn State's -1 too. That they have, they lost a game. But Oregon's the only team that's undefeated. They are playing really well. Dan Lanning, the head coach, has got them playing exceptional football right now. The offense and the defense work well together. They know what's in front of them. They know if they win this game, everything is in front of them. This is another team that first time ever that, like Texas, is going into a championship in a different conference for the first time that, in their freshman year, which is really cool to see Oregon play. The whole entire thing with the head coach of Penn State is that he cannot win the big games. Is this where he's going to win the big game finally? And unfortunately, I do not see that. I could be 100% wrong. This could be an opportunity where they have everything just kind of just fell in their lap, and they win this game. They beat Oregon, and they shock them. Who knows? But to me, I think Oregon is going to win this. I would buy down that 0.5 point to -3. But I think Oregon is going to win this game, and they're going to win it pretty convincingly and go from there. It's going to be kind of like the Ohio State-Penn State game you saw earlier on in the season, and that's who I like. So we're going to take Oregon, buy down that 0.5 point, -3, and lock it in. All right. Oh, there you go. Oregon. So that's who we're taking, -3. And I don't think I'm going to do a playoffs. So I think I'm going to leave it here because I really want to start focusing on craps. I got a couple videos. I'm working on the edits right now. Some really great stuff coming out. And I think I'm just going to leave it here. And hopefully we win. Other than that, another successful week, a successful season. I appreciate everybody who's followed me from start to finish, from week 1 to week 14, and now going into championship week. I hope I made you guys some money. I hope you guys enjoyed the roller coaster ride while I was on it also. And guys, I really look forward to seeing you for week 1, 2025. And you guys have a great Christmas, a great New Year's, great whatever, great holidays. Be safe out there, and just cherish the time you have with your loved ones. That's the main thing. So don't hold too much hate for one another, and just make sure you guys take care of one another, okay? So have a great holidays, great New Year, and we have to wait. After New Year's, we have to literally wait pretty much. There's some football games, but we have to wait all the way to the end of August. 8 months we have to wait for this again. So, all right, guys. Well, you have a good one, and no sevens. We'll see you next year.